Hey everyone, it's HighZealot here and welcome to E4 of 2nd Operation SN. This is Charge into the Strait, destroy the enemy airfield, and it's the first really difficult map of this event on hard. So this is actually not my first time going to E4. This is actually the second time, but the first time I actually goofed up because I did not actually read the branching rules, so I just decided to just refresh and do it, start over, and not actually go through an undesirable route, because what I had would have led me to the night battle route, because I didn't actually read the branching rules required to go to B. But now on B. B is a submarine node. They're usually on echelon or line abreast, though they still are that you can still get unlucky and get critted if you're unlucky, which I could be unlucky. Have been unlucky a few times. So then to go to node B, you need to follow a combination. You can either have Kie or Kirishima, Ayanami and Kirishima, Yudachi and Akatsuki, or Yudachi and Harusame. Those are 4 different combinations alone. Or you can also have, if you have less than or equal to 3 battleships, or the number of battleships and carriers combined. And your number of battleships and carrier combined is less than or equal to 4. So 3 battleships and 1 carrier is the most you can bring, pretty much. And you need the following combinations: Fubuki and Hatsuyuki, Kie and Yudachi, Shokai, Furutaka and Tako, Furutaka and Fubuki, or Haruna and Kongo. Those are the combinations to go to B. Then after the submarine node, you go to node D. Node D is an active branch node. You can go to either up north or down south. You could battle south or night battle nodes, SN nodes, but up here it's just normal day battle, normal nodes, which are in the hard mode. It is said that before the final kill, the SN route is harder. I tried the SN route once because I was kind of annoyed with the northern route, and yeah, I kind of have to agree that night battle sucks before the final kill. So the first route, you can see we have a battleships, heavy cruiser, 3 destroyers, and that thing. The biggest threats here, that battleship and the heavy cruiser. Mainly because both of them are perfectly capable of one-shotting your destroyers or carriers. Maybe your standard fleet carrier, maybe they probably have a better chance, but they're still one-shotable by at least a battleship. Not heavy cruiser, probably the pretty lucky crit for that to happen. So since 4 of your fleet is probably gonna be fairly squishy, probably only gonna have 2 battleships, mainly because of the next branching rules of going from the F to node H, because I don't see a reason to go into node I. Basically, to go to node H, there are 2 possible combinations. The combination I'm using is you need 2 destroyers and either Ryujo or a light cruiser to go to node H. Or you can also bring 2 destroyers or more, and your combined number of battleships and fleet carriers has to be less than or equal to 2 to go to node H. Either way, you're gonna need 2 destroyers, and you won't have more than 2 battleships unless you don't want air superiority at H, which is not a good idea. One thing to know is that the current setup, I am not using anti-air cut-in, but when you do this, you're gonna want to use anti-air cut-in, because it's gonna make your chance of surviving H extremely better, and you also have the probability of actually shooting down all their bombers, which is not 100% chance to happen with every anti-air cut-in, but it's a possibility. To go from node H to the boss, it's just a line of sight check. I don't really know what exact effective line of sight you need, but it shouldn't really matter at this, because it's not like, I think pretty much every event except for the first one where they had the line of sight mechanic. Other than that event, its line of sight has all been, maybe the one after also had some tough line of sight requirements, but everything else was fairly easy line of sight requirements. So there are also other suggested formations you can take if let's say if you locked out Rujo or you don't have her. You can also potentially take well, for one thing, you will either have 2 battleships and light carrier. Like you probably sacrifice air superiority at Node H, or you may have 1 battleship and either way you're probably be sacrificing air superiority. But though you could bring 2 light carriers, but then you are being even more squishy than previously, which makes Node F and H both harder than your fleet carrier is more survivable. And now we have the boss. We have Henderson, or the airfield he made. Henderson, my old friend. You know, she was the boss that was famous for being on E-4 of fall 2013. That horrible map, which was still in the era of map region, HP region, was full of night battle nodes, and there was still compass trolling at the pre-boss. And the boss battle worked was that you start out in night battle, and if you didn't, and you had the potential to go to day battle, but it really depends on what happened during night battle. Like I think it was, you shut down all their escorts, all Henderson's escorts. You did not get day battle at all. It was another, and also it was another one where, you know, Congos get a special routing because, you know, historic reasons. So Henderson, you can see she's got 500 HP. Right now her aircraft isn't really good. Like she doesn't have a lot of air. She doesn't have extremely powerful aircraft. But on her final kill she gets a better aircraft. Everything else pretty much same. It's a pretty static formation even on the final kill. You still get these super tough battleships of doom and destruction. And the only difference is you don't have a transport, you get a light cruiser instead. I believe that's it. And if I could check right now, yeah, that's the only difference. You get a light cruiser. No real difference. In fact, light cruiser may even be better because it's more squishy than that transport is. This is Henderson's an airfield. She's an installation type. You want to bring your Type 3 shells along. But you can also you may also consider AP shells instead, or maybe both of you, mainly so you can hopefully have a better chance of taking out those battleships during the day. So really, it's one of those battles where it's you know, a good shot can one shot Henderson, mainly because of how effective Type 3 shells are. I believe they pretty much, like, I don't remember, I think the percentage was like something like 250% maybe? But either way, it increases your damage by a lot. And remember, installation types, when in night battle, your torpedo stats is not counted. So basically, your destroyers are not gonna do much even. Didn't even bother bringing that that destroyer equipment which it was supposed to be for. Also they use a bunch of failures, which is this is afterwards, and it really is at this point. This is almost everything except one I show here was continuous. I didn't even show. This is not every single retreat I had before making it to the next kill. Like at this point, before I made it to the second kill, I had a calculated about 85% chance of retreat, or more like after the second kill, trying to get the third kill, make it to the boss for the third time. I had an 85% chance of retreat. Yeah, this pretty much covering all cases. Which nodes are the problem? Which girls get one-shotted? So you can see submarine, Sukaku, Rujo, destroyers, carrier, and get hit by submarines, carriers, and battleships and heavy cruisers. Those are the problems. And then at one point I switched out to anti-air cutting, and you guys can see Akatsuki's flagship now. And this is a special case, splash bomb, shows off that you can shoot down all the bombers, which is practically, you're guaranteed almost, it's a 90%, I would say 80% chance, because that red destroyer could be an asshole. So we're gonna go with 80% chance to make it a boss. This is just a random number of picks. It has no actual mathematical basis, no statistics, no probability, no mathematical distribution at all. And you can see here, once you kill all the bombers, your biggest threat are done. No problemo. And then, you know, eventually I reach the did enough damage to reach the final kill. You want to keep track of that so you can actually know. Because when you get your final kill, you want to go for the night battle route. Because normally, I never showed the normal night battle route, but normally on night battle you got those red destroyers who do double attacks. And you also, you know, basically it's harder in every single way. And you can see here, what I brought along is full on 3 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, and a fleet carrier. Mainly because there's nothing that forces you to go to node A as long as you fix yourself for I'm going to node B for the branch run. The only thing to know is that the only way to get to from G to the dead end node potentially is with a question mark, so it's not exactly confirmed as far as I know. Is that one thing that is confirmed, you gotta fail the line of sight check. The things that are not confirmed is that maybe having a submarine fleet sends you to the dead end, maybe, or your total number of battleships and carriers is more than or equal to 5, which clearly I don't have that many. I brought 2 heavy cruisers, and heavy cruisers, you know, still very, very powerful against Henderson, because they can also equip Type 3 shells and they're heavy cruisers, they simply hurt. So here we go, the first night battle route. The first night battle node, you can easily see that what we're gonna have here is gonna contain no red destroyers at all. They've all gone to the north route. In fact, I'll tell you how the north route changes. The north route for the final information for node F is now you got 3 red destroyers and you got 2 heavy cruisers instead of what previous had. But what really is important to note that is node H. Now you got not only you got the 2 you got now their blue-eyed carrier woe class, and then 2 normal woes as well, which is, you know, you don't want to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that. And night battle nodes, you can see clearly that. You can also see that I equipped Kirishima and here with both AP shells and Type 3 shells. I think Congo probably had the night. Yeah, I think she had the night battle scout, while my heavy cruiser had the star shells. And nobody had a searchlight spotlight because you know you don't really want to be focused while one down, which is not good. One thing to know is that with the air superiority, because Henderson on the final kill she gains a lot more better fighters. She gets the takoyaki ones, which is, you know, a lot more fighter power, a lot more dangerous, a lot more deadly. Well, to your fighters, that is, fighters and bombers. So with only 1 carrier, even with Kaga, I think I'm fairly sure you can't get air superiority, but you can get air partiality, like get just as long as they don't get air superiority, it's fine. And then you can also maybe dive torpedo bomber too, because I should mention this earlier, but installation types have the weird, probably not. I still don't think it's intended immunity to dive bombers, but not being immune to torpedo bombers. Like like I remember seeing that they can even be hit by the torpedo bombers in the initial airstrike phase, which is I'm barely sure not intended. Just imagine visually hitting an airfield with torpedoes. Now, I'm not 100% sure how torpedoes work, but I recall that I think they're not armed immediately. Like I'm not sure when exactly they're fully armed, but I think it's a few seconds after they hit the water. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that because I'm not exactly an expert on air-based torpedoes. So as far as I see as you're pretty much hitting an airfield with a blunt object. Not explosive object, but a blunt object, pretty much. So you can see she got those things. No air superiority, but we all got Type 3 shells, and you know Sukaku, she did her best, and you know she was only there. She already got it on the origin night battle, and you can see here not much change. You got their light cruiser, and that's about it. No air superiority, but so we do have no no artillery spawn, which is one of the main reasons why I gave them AP shells. A radar may also have been worked, but I felt like the AP shells may have been the better idea for just increased firepower. in all, this took a lot of sorties, a lot of attempts, mainly because mainly. Also, this is the first time I go into the. This is actually my first attempt trying to kill the boss. This is actually, in fact, this is actually like kind of like experimental. Like I was only really just testing out the waters, seeing how the night battles are, and I didn't actually intend to I did not actually intend to succeed here, in which you're about to see heavy cruiser doing the work of a I'm not sure where I was going with that, but you get what I mean. Doing lots of work, lots of damage, and then we also our managers also end up doing some pretty decent stuff, right? In just a few moments. I.e., she's dead, and then she's also about to get sunk, and boss is S rank. Not sure if there's any significant ship drops here. Not really. There are some dependent on. There are like Akashi drops. That's something. Nowaki also drops, and she was an infinite reward with nothing really significant by my standards. Mainly because I have most everything I care about, except Roma. So in total, which I forgot to mention earlier, you need 7 kills. Gage has about roughly 3,500 HP, just by 500 times 7, clearly. And then you have a number of rewards for medium and hard. Hard, the difference between hard and medium is that you get 2 more improvement screws, and you get 1 more maritime resupply, and 1 more combat ration. And here's the reward. Asui is being the reward here is and she's a fleet oiler. You can use the maritime resupply, which is their big barrels, to actually resupply your fleet right before the boss. Though I think it depends on like how it only activates depending on how much resources, how much supplies they do not have. And I've seen a video where she was used on E7, and it seemed very effective. Though there was also the green tea as well. So it also, the idea is that you afford their ammo the damage penalty for low ammo. And I also talked about, and on easy mode you only get 1 maritime resupply and a combat ration. So the only difference between, there's not much difference between the rewards and medium and hard, other than pride. So, other than pride, pretty much it's always been the reason why we most recently do stuff on hard is pride. As you can see here, E4 is in most ways time consuming, because it's a lot of retreats, but resources, you can see here, I feel not that much. Ammo I actually gained. Steel is actually less than E3. Bauxite less than E3. Buckets is more than E3, but not that much. So that's pretty much E4 in a nutshell. Henderson, my old friend, we got gotten revenge on you for that horrible defeat you dealt me that so long ago in 2013. And E5 is gonna be a breath of fresh air. I'll see you guys then, and good night.